fellow KISS fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a KISS fan. My name is Rick, and as you can see, we are snowbound again. No better time to dig in to the magic of the videotape. I feel like Tom Adkins on Lethal Weapon. She was making videotapes, KISS, bootleg videotapes, and these were magical in the early 90s. Let's dig in to that magic. I was first introduced to the world of KISS bootleg VHS tapes from my friend Mike Jackson. The KISS Revenge Tour was coming to our hometown of St. Joseph, Missouri, and myself, my friend Brett, and my friend Danny thought we would meet KISS prior to the show, so we went down to a Best Western hotel directly across from the arena, hoping to meet the band. However, it was only Great White and Trickster that were staying at that hotel, but another fan was mulling around the hotel lobby, and he turned out to be our friend Mike Jackson, who introduced us to the wonderful world of KISS bootlegs. Mike is a special guy and has a charming quality to him that you just can't say no to. And within 2 minutes of meeting him, we didn't even know this guy, he somehow convinced us to buy him a jumbo shrimp and steak dinner from the hotel restaurant. In return, he would let us borrow one of his KISS bootleg tapes. Turned out, we bought him dinner, he let us borrow the tape, and we've been friends for 27 years. And this is a copy of the bootleg tape that we borrowed from Mike that night. Mike would get all of his tapes from a vendor named Frank Carligo, and this was a compilation of clips from 1976 to 1979. It had a lot of in-store record signing / interviews, a ton of the commercials from Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Alive 2, Double Platinum, to the solo albums, to the Return of KISS, Dynasty commercial. This was a magical tape to watch, because if you think about it, 1992, there was no internet, and you just didn't see clips like this. Extreme Close-Up had not come out yet, and stuff like this was not available to the normal fan. This is masking tape from 1992, my high school writing. It doesn't get any more fun than this. Whereas Mike was a Frank Carligo purchaser, I tended to purchase my bootlegs from a man named Peter Arquette, who went on to run the KISS Museum website. More on that here in a minute. My collection that I purchased from Peter Arquette was the first time we ever saw gems like The Tomorrow Show, the 1979 interview with Tom Snyder, Land of Hype and Glory, that wonderful Edwin Newman interview, Live in Houston, Peter's first interview after quitting. I want to say that's on Tom Snyder. I believe it is. I believe it's Tom Snyder 1980. The Kiss Your Face ad, the Kiss Doll ad, the Inner Sanctum ad, and then some live Hot in the Shade tour shots. My next favorite was this KISS video special number 27. I do not believe I have any of the information. I do not. However, I can recall from memory that this video opens up with an amazing news spot from New York around the time of maybe Alive 3, and Gene and Paul actually go to 10 East 23rd Street again with a reporter. It's pretty freaking awesome. And also on this, I believe, is that famous Alive 3 era Howard Stern interview. Gene and Howard Stern actually talk about their almost coming to blows over an Eric Carr comment after he passed away. A lot of good times watching this video. Probably one of the most watched videos between myself, Danny, and Brett was this Live in Washington, D.C. 1979 bootleg show. This is the Largo show. It is the complete show. Years later, as a bonus disc, you could get the Largo 79 Dynasty Tour, but it was trimmed down. It wasn't the full show. This is the full show, and we watched this so much during December and January on winter weekends, much like the weather I'm having right now currently in Kansas City. We would watch this so much we began to associate Dynasty and Largo with snow. It almost depressed me when I got this disc to realize that the Largo show was actually recorded in July and it wasn't hot, because we would watch this so much. I think we just associated Largo with cold, and we almost imagined this show was recorded in colder months, when actually it wasn't. Probably one of my favorite KISS shows of all time. And the reason I'm glad I have the complete versions of Inner Sanctum, The Tomorrow Show, Land of Hype and Glory, is because they were included in these Kissology sets that came out on DVD. They're so edited down, it almost sucks. I'm just going to say it. These discs are fun, but they're not as fun as the bootlegs. I loved watching the full Tom Snyder. That to me is fun. I really wish when the band put these discs together, they would have just included the full clips. Charge us more, we'll pay it. And so here I was, trucking along, being a Peter Arquette fan, buying my VHS bootlegs and enjoying them with my friends until about 1994. I remember my friend Brett bought a bootleg VHS from Peter Arquette, and on that tape was a KISS convention that Gene and Paul actually showed up at and shut down because people were selling bootleg merchandise. Now, I think what they were really after at that convention was someone was selling their costumes. Someone had got a hold of KISS costumes and was selling them at this convention. Gene and Paul show up at this convention and the crowd goes crazy. And then the video kind of turns scary. You almost see an ugly side of them, because it's like Gene and Paul versus the fans. The fans want this merchandise, and here Gene and Paul are at this convention shutting it down, and it kind of got scary. And suddenly, just like that, the world of bootlegs changed. You couldn't really find KISS bootleg VHS tapes, cassette tapes, anywhere. No one wanted to tangle with the legal issues selling them. So people like Frank Carligo and Peter Arquette, it's understandable, they stopped selling bootlegs, and suddenly it just wasn't as fun as it once was. And speaking of the fun ending, I actually kept this mail catalog from 2014 from KissMuseum.com. This was the final mailing print catalog, and I remember receiving it and reading this back article and actually being kind of sad that this was the final print catalog. They had completely transferred to an all online KISS store. I love the internet for its convenience, but it really ruins a lot of fun. And I felt when I got this catalog that a piece of my high school innocence had died. I used to receive Peter Arquette's newsletter in the mail and send him a check for a cool KISS bootleg, and now the internet had taken all that innocent fun away. And I know that it's much easier to go on YouTube and type in a search, KISS Young Music Show 1976, and watch the entire clip. But it felt like you were a part of a secret society receiving these Peter Arquette, Frank Carligo newsletters in the mail, sending in your money, and then receiving a videotape a few weeks later, and gathering with your friends on a winter night to watch some fun KISS bootlegs. It's a time that's no longer here. It was a time of innocence and fun. Sure, the internet has made everything more convenient, but in my eyes, VHS, bootlegs, small fan clubs were way more fun. Thank you for hanging with me. Take care. Be safe. Never stop watching VHS. And I will talk to you soon.